Welcome to the world of research. In this video, we are going to learn about French Revolution. We have discussed about American Revolution, and let me tell you that America is not the only state to ever have a revolution. The French had one too. From defeating the monarchy to Napoleon's rise to fame, let's explore the major events of French Revolution. We have divided French Revolution into 4 different phases. Phase 1, from 1789 to 1791, National Assembly phase of the French Revolution. In 1789, the French people were not happy. Due to war and King Louis XVI's spending habits, the country was utterly broke. On top of that, the peasants had been through droughts and disease, making the harvest inadequate. These poor, hungry peasants had enough, so they started to revolt. A political party known as the Third State called for a change in the government. Therefore, several things happened in rapid succession which led to French becoming a constitutional monarchy. June 1789, Tennis Court Oath. On 20th June, the Third State became the National Assembly and protested on the tennis court of the state's Journal building after a failed attempt to take it over. July 1789, storming the Bastille. King Louis XVI tried to take back absolute power by building up ammunition and supplies. However, on July 14th, a Parisian mob stormed the Bastille and an ammunition depot, defeating his attempt. August 1789, Declaration of Men. The National Assembly nobles renounced feudalism and the Declaration of Man was issued. The Declaration of Man and of the citizens was the first attempt at setting up democratic principles. October 1789, Women's March on Versailles. In Paris on October 5th, peasant women marched to protest the famine. The king, Marie Antoinette, and their children went into hiding after Marie Antoinette allegedly uttered her famous words, "Let them eat cake," riling up the mob. July 1790, Civil Constitution of the Clergy. After several months of questioning what they wanted their government to look like, the Legislative Assembly was created along with the Constitution on July 12th. In addition to creating a limited monarchy, it also worked to separate the government from the church. June 1791, Escape of Louis and Marie Antoinette. King Louis knew his reign was over. Therefore, the family tried to get out of France by escaping to Austria, but they were caught. Austria wanted France to support their king and became a bit angry when they didn't. You know what that means? That means war. 1792 to 1794 is the second phase, which is called as the Reign of Terror phase. After the king and Mary tried to escape, things became a bit heated in France. Since the French did not want to listen to Austria, France declared war. Since the people saw King Louis XVI as a traitor for escaping, he was removed as king and France became a republic. But that was not enough to appease the people. So the king was executed using the new invention. Then the true reign of terror unfolded. April 1792, France declares war. The monarchies around Europe were not happy about the way that France overthrew Louis. However, they were not going to unite in war either. France didn't need them to declare war. Instead, on 20th April, they declared war themselves on Austria, starting the French Revolutionary Wars. August 1792. Fall of the Legislative Assembly. While the Legislative Assembly did succeed in getting rid of the king and starting a war, they did not succeed in staying in power. On 20th September, a new leader, the National Convention, took the stage after an insurrection in August. September 1792, monarchy was abolished. For the National Convention, just being a constitutional monarchy was not enough. They wanted freedom. Therefore, they abolished the monarchy and became a republic on September 21, 1792. January 1793. Execution of King. With the republic's establishment in France, King was brought to court for his crimes. On 21st January, the king was executed using the new technology. 9 months later, on 16th October, Marie Antoinette also met the same fate. February 1793. Convention declares war on Britain. While the first phase of the French Revolution had sort of de-escalated with the fall of the Assembly, it ramped up again in 1793. The cornerstone of this was the declaration of war on Great Britain and the Netherlands on February 1st. March 1793. The Reign of Terror begins. In March of 1793, the National Convention created the Committee of Public Safety. The committee, headed by Robespierre, worked to find and eliminate those who might attack the new nation. From September 5th, 1793 to 28th of July, 1794, around 27,000 people died by execution or by imprisonment, with about 5 lakh arrested. July 1794, Reign of Terror ends. Not surprisingly, France realized that Robespierre was not a good guy, using fear and hate to kill innocent people. On 28th of July, they executed him, ending his reign of terror. The third phase, 1795 to 1799, the Directory. Some might see the end of Reign of Terror as the end of the French Revolution. However, revolutionary things were still happening within the government, and Napoleon Bonaparte played a large part in the final 2 phases of the French Revolution. Now, let's have a look at how the country established a new constitution and ruler in just a few years. August 1795, new constitution adopted. After the Reign of Terror, France needed to have a constitution for the Republic. The Constitution of the year 3 was signed into legislation on 22nd of August. However, this new constitution put the power in a directory of only 5 wealthy directory members. September 1795, Rise of Napoleon Bonaparte. The directory was not doing the great of a job, and people were furious. Therefore, a loyalist mob took to the streets to bring down the directory. On September 21st, Napoleon Bonaparte saved the directory, starting his rise to power. 1795 to 1799, the creation of a hero. Napoleon was pivotal in the French Revolutionary Wars, and the directory needed him on the battlefield. Therefore, they gave him military applause and merits to defeat the armies of Austria. He also went on to claim Switzerland, Rome, and other states in 1798. His defeat of these oppressors made him a hero in the hearts of the people. The last phase, 1799 to 1815, the Napoleonic era. Napoleon Bonaparte was not satisfied with just becoming a military great. He wanted to be a ruler. So he used his military expertise and national love to become one. Using his military dictatorship, Napoleon defeated the Directory and eventually became an emperor. However, his rise to power was short-lived and his fall imminent. November 1799, the fall of the Directory and the rise of the Consul. After returning from the wars, the people hailed Napoleon as the country's savior and realized the Directory could not do its job. Therefore, on November 7th to 8th, a coup, including Napoleon, overthrew the Directory. The new government needed a ruler, and Napoleon became the first consul and eventually consul for life in August 1802. March 1804, institution of the Napoleonic Code. After becoming the country's leader, Napoleon realized that he needed a civil code for the people to follow, which he titled the Napoleonic Code. It was officially ratified in France on 21st March. December 1804, Napoleon crowns himself emperor. Why be a simple consul when you could be an emperor? That's just what Napoleon Bonaparte did. On 2nd December, Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of France. This let his domination of Europe continue. June 1814, Napoleon defeated in Russia. The higher that you rise, the harder you fall. Napoleon learned this lesson the hard way in 1814. After a long and hard battle with Russia, they defeated Napoleon and his army on 24th of June after the French lost 3 lakh soldiers due to battles, hunger, and weather. After his defeat, Napoleon was exiled to Elba but came back for 100 days in 1815, only to be defeated again. June 1815, monarchy restored. When Napoleon defeated, the relation of Louis mounted the throne once again. On 8th of July, the monarchy was once again restored in France, ending the French Revolution. Please do like, subscribe, share our videos. Thank you. Good luck with your research.